Hi there. Do you want to learn about placing mines in Battlebit Remastered? Have you heard that simply by running around the map and placing down claymores you can get a KD score of up to 1.5? Have you tried this and figured that, yeah, that's not really that effective and true and people seem to be overhyping it? Well, if you want to improve your minefield placement, this is the right video for you. My name is Juggernaut, welcome to the shooting range, and today we're going to learn how to utilize these little things to get you the maximum amount of kills and maximum amount of protection indoors. If this is something you're interested in, stay tuned for the video. Let's get to it. So, first things first, we're going to cover what not to do. This is an example of a fairly terrible mine that does have a function, mind you. So, you see, the reason this is terrible is because everyone and their mother can see it. Maybe if someone's walking out like this, they're going to have a harder time spotting it because you can see the gun's sort of in the way, and if they have a bigger gun, pun fully intended, you see it can sort of get obscured by the machine gun here, and they might step on it, but the chances of that happening, even if it's the heat of battle and everything, are a bit minimal, right? Most people tend to aim a bit downwards, like this. And even if you keep your aim at sort of Counter-Strike head level, right, you still can see it oftentimes. And even if you zoom down and move a little bit, you can still see it right there. It's fairly terrible. Now, it does have a function, like I said. Mines placed like this can be used to tell when enemies are storming a building. So, let's say you are here in some... can I actually build in... I cannot. Okay, I can't build in the shooting range. But let's say you built a box up here and you're shooting through here and you're fighting and, you know, bang, 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 there we go. And then you hear a mine go off. Boom. Well, you now know the enemy's coming from here. Because they might not have stepped on it, but they might have shot the mine, like so, and are now coming into the building. So you can turn around and prepare to face them. Mind you, it doesn't help much that you now know they're coming, but you still don't know how many, and you still have to fight them, right? The mine didn't really do its job. It acted as a glorified alarm bell, but that's about it. So, where do we actually place our mines in building scenarios, like, let's say, when we're defending a building like this? Where do we actually place them to get the most use out of them? Well, one way, if you have claymores, would be to put them at the end of the door, here, facing that way. Mind you, it's a little bit inaccurate in Battlebit Remastered. Sometimes you'll place a mine standing like this and it'll face that way or it'll face the wall. In that case, just pick it up, move a little bit, place it down again so it's looking at the door. That way, when someone comes in, they won't see the mine, which is because it's behind this little bit of material here. They're going to step in and boom, right there, you get your kill. Same thing for stairs. You can actually place mines around here, claymores, looking that way, because people will tend to check this, and then just walk up. And if the mine's placed right there, a lot of the times they will miss it. Mind you, stairway, not really a great spot to hide stuff, but you do need to mine it to make sure that nobody sneaks up on you if you're fighting down the street over there, or down the street over there or something. However, there's a few interesting things you can do with mines that a lot of people don't know, I feel like. One is the fairly obvious, and probably the most obvious out of all of these, let's say, advanced tricks and tips with mines, is to place them in bushes. Unfortunately, I don't think we have one in the shooting range. Oh, we actually do. Yeah, there you go. You can put it down something like this, and there is no way in hell anyone is spotting that unless they're like at a very specific angle. And even then, if they look at this, they're oftentimes just going to think that's part of the tree, right? That's like the trunk of the tree or something, and they're just going to walk past it. The issue with putting mines in bigger... Can I actually pick this up? No, I cannot. Fix your shooting range, people. Game developers is going to make me... It was going to make my videos a lot easier to explain. Anyways, the problem with this is a lot of people don't actually want to run through this bush. They want to sort of run a little bit around it. With claymores, that's okay. You can just put them facing, you know, any of the cardinal directions here, and someone is eventually going to run past it, and boom. The problem with this is, well, it's effective at getting you kills, but it's not really helping you. Let's say you're over here sniping or whatever, and well, now what, right? You've gotten a kill over there, you can't really see the enemy. The mine isn't going to respawn itself, and you just keep shooting, and yeah, okay, your score's a little bit better, fair enough, but that's all there is. Oftentimes, people run through foliage like this with a lot of people around them, so if he dies, his teammate is just going to pick him up, and that's it. And most people run medic anyway, so it's not like you're draining the enemy's resources or anything either. So it's not very effective. It's a good way to place mines, it's a good way to get kills. If you can do it with a couple of friends, you can actually lay down a proper minefield, which is interesting. And yes, there are situations where it's very useful, especially if there's a lot of obvious places where enemies tend to go to get, for example, enemy snipers tend to go. Then yeah, they're usually solo, and it's kind of difficult for them to get people to revive them because they're a bit far away from the actual action. Yeah, in that situation, it can actually be useful. But you're not here for that. You can read that up anywhere. I'm here to show you some pretty unique stuff. Now let's get on to the good stuff, right? And for that, I'm going to need to respawn with the same character again. Alright, let's do it. So, this is... we're scaling it up, right? We're going up a notch. We're going to something really advanced right now. For this, we're going to need some stairs, and let me try and find some. Is there a way to... yeah, there you go. So, this is a perfect example of how to fortify a building. You go upstairs, you mine the stairs here, and you're good. But how do you actually do that? Well, here's the thing. If you approach like this and put a mine down, you see it's kind of... well, it's a little bit glitched, as in half of it is sticking out, half of it isn't. In live games, you can actually pick it back up again. Sorry, there's an ambulance rushing past the house. I'm going to mute for a second. Alright, it was a police car and an ambulance. Hope nothing too serious happened. We had some drunk driving and speeding incidents recently, people coming back from vacation. Anywho, so you see how it's sort of half sticking there, and oftentimes, believe it or not, that is enough to confuse people. I know, it looks a bit silly, especially when you look at it in this sort of context where everything is peaceful, but in the heat of battle, when they're, you know, trying to cover all the angles, that is enough to confuse them. Plus, you can get a little bit better at it. If you practice, you can actually... yeah, that was terrible. But you can pick these up and you can try and wedge them further in, right? So that's even better. But now, we're kicking the scale up to 11. Now, behold. Juggernaut, what the hell are you doing? Can I actually pick this up? I can't. I can't drop stuff either in the... Jesus. Okay, give me a second. Okay, let's try that again. Kind of works. There you go. That's the idea. Can I blow them up separately, or... Yes, I can. Alright, lovely. There you go. That's the idea. I'm not going to lie to you, I have gotten probably around 20 kills like this today. Yeah, today. People don't double check that at all, and they fall for it time and time again, and it is hilarious. I've killed the same guy 3 times with that. He still couldn't figure out where the mine was. It's so obvious, and as a support class, in actual live games, you can do that fairly often as well. You have, I think, 5 or 6 anti-personnel mines. You have 3 of these ammo boxes. You can just put 1 down, and here's the thing. Here's the most beautiful thing of it all. If someone walks across this, it's an enemy supply box. They can't move it. They can't pick it up. They're not even going to think about it. They're going to maybe even try and resupply from it, realize it's, you know, not theirs, and go away. Even better, they're going to try and resupply. There's a mine underneath. Boom. It's a booby-trapped supply box. But even better than that, once the mine explodes, you can just come down, place another one, and leave. The box stays. Oh yes, the box stays until they find a different way to dislodge you from these stairs. It is beautiful. I played on, I think, River, and I played on Tensor, and I've gotten like 20 kills probably in total of this. I don't actually use anti-personnel mines. This is the only scenario in which I've used anti-personnel mines and the drone trick, which I showed on my sniper video. This is brilliant, and like on a side note, with a little even more convenience, you can use the same trick with medical boxes. You can use the same trick with claymores. So you can use it with multiple classes, right? Engineer, assault, medic, and support, anything really. And there you go. They step on that, boom. Ideally, you want to do it probably around corners, on stairs. Again, it's perfect, especially if you practice a little bit and you can wedge this mine inside the step there and put a box on top of it. Nobody's ever going to think. Obviously, the only limiting factor then as support is the number of mines you can place, but that's a good problem to have, right? Every mine I place kills someone. I mean, that's just amazing, right? But even that's not that big of a problem because you can resupply. Obviously, you can't do it in the shooting range because everything's broken here, but in live games, you can actually resupply from the same box you've been using to kill people. It's awesome. It is genuinely awesome, and it is the most fun I've had with a mine. Aside from, oh, that's a bit of damage on this thing. I haven't actually used this gun in a while. That's the only, whatchamacallit, the only way I've actually used those mines, and the most fun way, save for the suicide drone attack, which I still deem the most fun out of all of them, especially because I got a pentakill or something yesterday evening. I just landed on top of some medics and support guys healing and rearming each other, and it blew up, and it was glorious. But yeah, there you go. Alright, fun little gun this. I should probably use it a little bit more often. Alright, there we go. That was my tips as far as buildings are concerned. Let me check my notes and see if there's anything else that I've missed. Yeah, okay, so there was one more thing, but I need to get into a live game to actually show you this. Here's an example of a terrible mine. Nobody's falling for that, like I said. We can put this on top of it, or there's another way. You can put a barrier right about there. So not right next to the mine, but a little bit away from it. That way, you can't see it all the way here. You jump, and you get stuck in the animation. So you can't actually cancel the vaulting animation in this game. So you vault over and your feet land right on top of the mine. And as support, you can put down, let's say, 2 of these barriers. And there you go. Now, obviously, in this particular scenario, most people are just going to walk like this. They're not going to actually do it. But here, you might actually kill someone if they step on it. You can also put a barrier down here and put 2 mines there, and there you go. But leaving them out in the open, not great. Behind foliage like this, pretty good. But you can also overdo it. You see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. It's a bit much. If people see 1 mine, they're going to shoot it. They're going to kill themselves. I actually didn't know you can shoot friendly mines in the live server and kill yourself like that. Alright, fair enough. They're going to shoot it, and then they're going to be on the lookout for more next to the thing, right? So keep that in mind. You don't want to put them too densely next to each other unless you know that, let's say, 2 full enemy squads are going to be coming for you in, you know, through this bit soon. You can count on that if you... Sorry. You can count on that if you go deep behind enemy lines, for example, B or A. You know that eventually there's going to be, especially in B, there's eventually going to be a lot of enemies coming forward towards you, so you can put down a few extra mines, and then that way you'll, well, you'll not just feel more secure, you will be more secure, and it will take more of them to sort of push through your defenses, and you will stay alive for just a little bit longer. But other than that, I think we're pretty much done. Just don't place them out in the open. Don't put them one on top of the other. It won't work. There's no reason to double up a mine, for example, to put 2 on one thing. Unless it's suicide drone. I think there is a bit of a reason in that scenario. Because the detection for when it's actually supposed to go off on a suicide drone is a little bit off, so putting an extra one there does help, but as far as actually putting them on the ground is concerned, not really. And yeah, that's about it as far as mines are concerned. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any more suggestions on how to place mines and where to do it and how, feel free to tell me down in the comments below. I know putting mines on top of, or rather, right next to ladders and stuff like that can also be very helpful. Oh, you want to use this as a spawn? Alright, fair enough. Also on top of climbing ropes, but that's pretty rare. There's not a lot of ladders in the game. There's not a lot of climbing ropes you can find in the game and stuff like that. So it's not the most common thing ever, and ergo you're not going to be using it all that often. But it is useful nonetheless. So yeah, that's also an option for you. But other than that, I feel like I've covered all the best sort of places to put your mines down, and hopefully I've helped you gain a few extra kills and improve your stats a little bit in this game. Thank you very much for watching once again. Like, subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video, and we'll stay tuned with the rest of the content that I produce on the channel. Until next time, have fun, take care, and bye-bye.